Today we study the first topic in biology in 12th science. The name of topic is reproduction in lower and higher plants. As the name suggests, in this topic we actually study how reproduction takes place in lower organisms like amoeba or yeast or different types of alga or fungi, and how reproduction takes place in higher plants which we call as a angiosperm. As we know, in angiosperms, a special developed or modified stem that is called as a flower is the main reproductive organ developed by this angiosperm. And in this topic we actually study how sexual reproduction takes place in angiosperm. That is how male gametophyte and female gametophyte was developed in flower, and how process of double fertilization takes place till the formation of fruit and seed. As the name suggests, reproduction. What is meant by reproduction? As we know, there are different characteristic features of living organisms. As living organisms, they mainly shows catabolic activity, they mainly show metabolic activities. Living organisms, they have ability of growth and development. These organisms, they have only sense to stimuli and reproduction. These are the different characteristic features of living organisms. Out of these, reproduction, it is also important feature of reproduction. Then we must know what is reproduction. Reproduction, it is the ability of living organisms to produce offspring of or new generation of their own kind. Thus we define reproduction. As we know, from mango tree we get mango seeds and mango fruit, and in this mango fruit, mango seeds are developed. These mango seeds, after germination, they form a new mango tree. Thus the mango seeds, they are arises from mango tree. It is the example of reproduction. Thus we define reproduction as the ability of living organisms to produce offspring or the next generation or the young ones of their own kind. It is called as a reproduction. We also define reproduction as it is the ability in which life arises from pre-existing life. We also define reproduction as this way. Then what is the necessity of reproduction? Why reproduction it is necessary in nature? Reproduction, it was essential in nature for perpetuation and continuation of species in the nature. These are the introductory point about the reproduction. Then there are actually two types of reproduction. Reproduction, in nature, reproduction takes place by two methods as asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. In exam, there is a question, differentiate between asexual and sexual reproduction. Here, the first point, differentiation first point is what is asexual reproduction? As the name refers, a means not, sexual means male and female gamete. It is a type of reproduction in which there is no fusion and no formation and no fusion of gametes. It is called as a asexual reproduction. Then what is sexual reproduction? As the name suggests, it is a type of reproduction in which there is formation and union of male and female gametes. It is called as a sexual reproduction. Then asexual reproduction, it is also called as apomixis. Then what is apomixis? Apomixis, it is a Greek word. Apo means without and mixis means mixing. Asexual reproduction, it is called as apomixis as there is no mixing. Here mixing means fusion. In plants there is no fusion of male and female gametes. So asexual reproduction, it is also called as apomixis. Then sexual reproduction, it is called as amphimixis. Amphimixis, it is also a Greek word. Amphi means both and mixis means mixing. That is, there is fusion or union of male and female gametes. So sexual reproduction is also called as amphimixis. Then the reproduction, it is a uniparental method. As the name suggests, uniparental, that is single parent is involved in asexual reproduction, while sexual reproduction, it is a biparental method, as both parents, that means male gamete and female gamete is involved, so it is called as a biparental method. Then the next point is, in asexual reproduction, only mitotic or mitosis type of cell division takes place, while in sexual reproduction, both meiosis and mitosis types of cell division takes place. As we know, meiosis takes place during the gamete formation, while mitosis takes place after the zygote formation. Then the next point is, in asexual reproduction, offsprings or the new young ones which are formed, they are morphologically and genetically identical with each other, so they are called as a clones. I repeat this point. In asexual reproduction, offsprings or the next generation or the young ones formed, they are morphologically and genetically identical with each other, which we are called as a clones. While in sexual reproduction, the offsprings which are formed, they are not morphologically and identical, morphological and genetically identical with each other, so it creates variation in the nature. So we also describe as variation is possible only in sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, variation does not occur. Then the next point is, asexual reproduction, it is a rapid method. It is a rapid method of reproduction, while sexual reproduction, it is the slow method of reproduction. Then the next point is modes of reproduction in lower organisms. That means how these lower organisms, that means some unicellular organisms, how they reproduce. As we know, in lower organisms, they mainly reproduce by asexual method. The first method of asexual reproduction in lower organisms is fragmentation. What do you mean by fragmentation? Fragmentation means broken down into pieces. Fragment means piece. Fragmentation, broken down into pieces, it is called as a fragmentation. The best example is Spirogyra. Spirogyra, it is a type of algae. The Spirogyra body, it is a filamentous body. When accidentally these filaments, they get broken down into pieces, each piece, it has ability to produce a new individual. This method was called as a fragmentation, which was mainly observed in alga, that is called as a Spirogyra. Then the second method of asexual reproduction is the budding. Budding, it was observed in unicellular fungi, that is the yeast. Yeast, it is a type of fungi in which yeast body, individual body, it is a unicellular. When this yeast, it gets matured, it forms a small tiny outgrowth which was called as a bud. This bud, when it was young, it draws ready-made food material from the parent individual. But when it gets mature, that means it is able to reproduce, or it has the ability to survive independently. It gets detached from the parent organism, and this bird live its own independent life. This type of method, it was called as a budding. Then the next method of asexual reproduction which was observed in lower organism is sporulation, or formation of different types of spores. This spore formation method, it was also called as a sporulation. What is sporulation? Formation of different types of spores. It is called as a sporulation. Then, what are these different types of spores? In these lower organisms, two types of spores are developed as motile spores and non-motile spores. These motile spores, they are formed in alga, while these non-motile spores, they are formed in fungi. In alga, for example, in Chlamydomonas, it mainly produces spores which are called as a zoospores. In Chlamydomonas, spores are developed which are called as a zoospores. Why they are called as a zoospores? Because these spores, they have tail-like outgrowth which is called as a flagella, and with the help of these flagella they can swim or they can move from one place to another place. So, formation of motile spores is a diagnostic feature of algae, while non-motile spores, they are mainly produced in fungi. For example, Penicillium. Penicillium, it is a type of fungi. It has a branched structure, and on these branches small spores are developed which are called as a conidia. Why they are called as a conidia? Because these conidia, they are arranged or they are developed in the form of chain. So they are called as a conidia. They are mainly developed on these branches which are called as a conidiophore. It is the structure of Penicillium type of fungi which have a branched structure, and on these branches again small branches are developed, and at these branches the non-motile spores are developed which are called as a conidia. Why they are called as conidia? Because they are developed in the form of chain. So they are called as a conidia. When they separated or when they detached these conidia on suitable substratum, they again form a new fungal body. Thus, we actually study the three methods of reproduction, modes of reproduction in lower organism. The first method is called as a fragmentation. What is fragmentation? Broken down into pieces is called as a fragmentation. For example, in Spirulina, it is a type of algae which have a filamentous body. These filaments, when accidentally broken down into pieces, each piece, it has ability to produce a new individual. Then the second method is called as a budding. In yeast, it is a unicellular fungi. When this yeast organism, it gets completely matured, it forms a small tiny outgrowth which is called as a bud. This bud, when it was immature, that was, it is not fully grown, it draws food from parent body, parent organism or parent body. When this bud, it gets mature, then it detaches from the parent organism and live its own independent life. Then the third method is the spore formation. There are actually two types of spores, as motile spores and non-motile spores. Motile spores, they are mainly developed in algae, while non-motile spores, they are developed in fungi. Chlamydomonas, it is a type of algae in which motile spores are developed which are called as zoospores. These spores, they have a motility organ which is called as a flagella, and with the help of these flagella they can swim. That means they can swim from one place to another place. And non-motile spores, they are developed in fungi. For example, Penicillium. Penicillium, it is a type of fungi which have a branched body, branched structure, and at the tip of these branches, in the form of chain, non-motile spores are developed which are called as a conidia. When these sporia they are detached on suitable substratum, they form a new fungal body. Then the next method is binary fission. Fission means broken down. Bi means two. As the name refers, the organism it is divided into two daughter cells. For example, amoeba. As we know, amoeba it is a unicellular organisms. It have a nucleus and the cytoplasm. This individual during reproduction it divides or it is broken down into two daughter cells, and each daughter cell it has ability to form a new individual. This is the parent organism and these are the daughter organisms. Thus, in amoeba-like organisms, reproduction takes place by the method which is called as a binary fission. In binary fission, in which parent organisms it divides to form two daughter cells, and each daughter cell it has ability to form a new individual. Then the last method is gemule formation. This method was observed in sponges. As we know, these sponges they are developed or they are present on a suitable substratum. They are grown on a suitable substratum. In these sponges, small gemmules are developed. These gemmules, when they are released through this opening, that is called as a micropipe, each gemmule it has the ability to form a new sponge body. Thus, we actually see the different modes of reproduction or different methods of reproduction in lower organism. And first method is the fragmentation, which was mainly present in alga like alga, that is Spirogyra. The second method is formation of bud, that is called as a budding, which we observed in yeast. Then the third method of reproduction is formation of different types of spores as alga. In alga, motile spores are developed in fungi, non-motile spores are developed which are called as a Boidia. Then the fourth method is the binary fission, which was present or which was observed in unicellular organism like amoeba, and the last method it was the gemule formation, which was mainly present in sponges. The next point is vegetative propagation. In angiosperms, asexual reproduction is known as vegetative reproduction. Or vegetative propagation. As the name suggests, it is a type of reproduction in which any vegetative part of the plant, there are actually two parts of the plant in any plant, that vegetative parts mainly include root, stem, leaf or bud, and floral parts include flower. Thus, as the name refers, it is a type of reproduction in which any vegetative part of the plant, that is root, stem, leaf or bud is used for propagation, then it is called as a vegetative reproduction or vegetative reproduction. Again I repeat, what is vegetative reproduction? It is a type of reproduction in which any vegetative part of the plant, that is root, stem, leaf or bud, it was used for reproduction, then it is called as a vegetative reproduction. These types of method, that means vegetative reproduction, it was mainly used by different agriculturists and horticulturists to produce large number of plants within a short period of time, as well as to produce fresh stock of plants. Then there are actually two main methods of vegetative propagation, as natural vegetative propagation and artificial vegetative propagation. In 11th standard, we have already studied the different methods of natural vegetative propagation and with their examples. And in sweet potato, we used the root of plant for propagation. While in potato and Cynodon dactylium or in Oxalis corniculata, we used the stem for propagation. While in bryophyllum like plant, we just use leaf cut for the propagation. These are the actually natural methods of vegetative propagation which we already studied in our previous standard. Here we study 3 methods of artificial vegetative propagation. Artificial methods of vegetative propagation. The first method of artificial vegetative propagation is cutting. As the name suggests, we use any cut of plant, that is, it may be stem, it may be root, or it may be leaf for propagation. Then that method it is called as a cutting. For example, stem cutting in roses or bougainvillea, they are in roses and bougainvillea, they are reproduced by using stem cuttings, while root cutting method it was used in blackberry. And leaf cut, for example, in bryophyllum and Sansevieria, leaf cut it was used for propagation. When we use these techniques like cutting, when these cutting like techniques are followed, there are some precautions are taken. Some of the precautions are as the stem cut which was used for propagation, it must be about 10 to 15 inches in length. It must have 2 to 3 viable buds. It should be free from any fungal or bacterial attack. Plus, when it dips inside the soil, into the soil, the leaves are removed to reduce the rate of transpiration. These are some precautions are taken when we use these techniques like cuttings. Also, the stem or root cut it may be dipped in hormones like auxins for root initiation. These are some precautions are taken when we follow techniques like cutting. Then the next artificial vegetative propagation method it is called as a grafting. Grafting it is a very interesting art which was mainly followed by many horticulturists and agriculturists. Then what is grafting? We define grafting as it is an art or it is a technique. We define grafting as it is an art or it is a technique in which 2 desirable plants are joined together in such a way that they join together and live or continue their life as a single plant. Thus, we define grafting as it is an interesting feature which was followed by agriculturists and horticulturists. Grafting it is an art or it is a technique in which 2 plants are joined together in such a way that they continue their life as a single plant. In this plant, 2 plants are selected. One plant it is with root system or the rooted plant. That rooted plant it was called as a stalk. There are 2 terms used. The rooted plant is called as a stalk. Then the desirable plant with slanting cut, it was joined here. That plant it was called as a scion. Thus the 2 terms are used as the stalk and scion. What is stalk? The rooted plant on which grafting is done, it is called as a stalk. cyon. The stalk and cyon, they are joined together by using polythene bag. Thus, when the bud of cyon it sprouts, it has both the characters of stalk and cyon. Thus, grafting technique it was followed by different agriculturists and horticulturists. The third method it is called as a budding. Budding it is also a type of grafting. Budding it is also a type of grafting in which a small bud it was inserted in a small incision. Here the rooted plant it is again called as a stalk, and on these stalk a small incision or small cut was taken. Then the desired plant, the second plant is the desired plant of which a small bud is removed. The care should be taken that this bud it is with small piece of bark, and this cut bark it was fitted into this incision and it was wrapped by a polythene bag. Then after 3 to 4 months, this bud it sprouts and it has both the characters of stalk and cyon. The last method of vegetative propagation was the micropropagation, or it is also called as a tissue culture technique. As the name suggests, we use microscopic part of the plant, that is tissue, for propagation. Then it is called as a propagation. And micropropagation technique was famously known as a tissue culture technique, in which a tissue of a plant it was grown in culture medium under aseptic condition. This tissue it multiplies and forms a mass of cell which is called as a callus, and this callus then it was multiplied and used to produce small plantlets, and these plantlets they are then sown in soil.